Hi everyone, welcome to today's tourism clinic. Thank you for joining us today. And it's the same at Tourism Clinic. We're discussing internationally acceptable tourism standards. We're discussing sustainable tourism and what myself and yourself can do to better the tourism and travel sector. And as always, today I have with me Mateja. Mateja, please.
Thank you very much, Esther, for inviting me to these tourism clinics that we are organizing, or better said, you are organizing every Monday. It's 5:30 local time, well, slightly later, but anyway, it's afternoon in my area, and I hope that this is the right time that also other ones from the other continents are able to join us. But on the other hand, I think this is all recorded, right? So that they can get a recording from you as well. And you are right.
Mm,
Sustainability, sustainability, sustainability. This is something that is very important in tourism. Something I mentioned already a week ago, because I said to the, let's say, the viewers that this is something that in tourism we should be aware, because when we are moving around the globe, of course this is not always sustainable, right? But there are few
mm.
ways when we can, let's say, be more sensitive, and we can be more attentive also to the destinations that we are visiting. But on the other hand, for us tourism stakeholders also to be aware of and to include that in our programs. What do you think? Should we start with those trends?
Yes, we should.
So here we are, first of all, to find out what actually sustainability is, right? And there is a very nice word, I like it very much, and this is the harmony. So let's go a slide back, and that we can see the harmony between who and what. Definitely this is the harmony between the human development and the earth capacity, because
Mm.
our globe has a certain capacity, and we need to be aware of that. And of course, we also humans like to travel, but on the other hand, we always should be aware what impact we are making when we are traveling or doing business, right? So definitely this is something that is important to sustain the life, right? And also ensuring a better quality of life for everyone, right? But that doesn't mean just for now, right, to be right here in this moment, but also to our future generations. Because if we are not acting sustainable, of course, we are taking a very important quality from our future generations. And this is something that we don't want to, right? So this is sustainability about. And of course, also sustainability means the ability to meet present needs, right? The needs of travelers, but also businesses, stakeholders, without compromising this ability of the future generations, right? So they will have also some wishes, some needs, and they will need to meet them as well. So we need to think about that as well. So sustainability, of course, then encompasses practices that balance environmental, social, and economical considerations, right? To ensure this long-term well-being that we mentioned already before. I think generally we are talking quite a lot about this environmental sustainability, and this is very important because
Mm.
environment is here around us. We need to respect it. But on the other hand, I would like to focus also on social sustainability, because sometimes I think we forget about that. And here, for sure, that we are supporting equitable access to resources, and then also preserving cultural heritage and community of well-being. This is something that we should not forget, right? Because tourism should really involve local communities, so that we don't act as intruders, right? But that we include local people, because if local community is included in this tourism, of course they will support it more. And I think this is what we talked last week about, no? And of course, then also promoting human rights and social justice. But this is something that we are going to talk in the near future, I think the next week or a week after. You put that on the agenda, I noticed, Esther. Now, if we go to economic sustainability, of course, then is this encouraging fair trade, right, and ethical business practices. For example, I'm a tourist guide, and with our association, we are also members of WFTGA, so that means World Federation of Tourist Guides, of course, also European Federation. But since we are now here together as a global community, I would like to point out WFTGA as well. We do have some ethics and code of conduct that we need to follow. I mean, for us tourist guides, but generally also the other stakeholders in tourism. No? And of course, we need to, let's say, focus and do our best to ensure the economic systems, that all those ones are resilient and also inclusive. This is something that it's very much up to date. Of course, let's say 30, 40, 50 years, nobody talked about inclusivity, but nowadays this is a must. So there is no economical, let's say, environment without inclusivity as well. And then, of course, that we also promote innovations. I mean, every business has to promote innovations, right? Sometimes you say, oh, we don't have time for innovations. I'm a self employed or a little company, and there is no time for something like that. Well, we just need to find the time for something like that. But definitely, these innovations need to be focused to benefit society and, of course, also the environment. So these are like the key aspects, Esther. But on the other hand, uh, tourism is, let's say, involving people from all around the globe. And that means airfare, right? So flights. And believe it or not, this is something what is not environmentally friendly. And if we want to be carbon neutral society, we should reduce the flights. And this is something that it's quite painful, but I think already awareness of that, it's very important. So definitely we should encourage carbon offsetting, right? So that we partner with airlines and third party organizations which promote carbon offsets programs where travelers, for example, can invest in reforestation, renewable energy, that also they give back something for, let's say, that price. So not only airfare, right, but also like something extra. No? That we all engage also with airlines which are taking meaningful steps towards sustainability, because a lot of them are aware of that, and I think it's fair and it's right that we then also engage with these kind of airlines and that put some effort in that. Definitely that we share the partnership with clients to reassure them of the efforts of these reduction of airfare aviation emissions. And then, of course, make this process more simple, integrating offsets options into the booking system. That is another, let's say, little thing that we can do. Nah? Definitely slow travel. We talked about it already last week. So this is something that already is reducing airfare, let's say, impact, because if we are staying somewhere longer, that means that we will not fly like every month for over a weekend, but
Sure.
we fly maybe a few times or maybe just one time a year, and then we are staying at the destination longer, and this is how we can already reduce. No? Of course, there are sustainable transportation options. Unfortunately, I cannot reach you by train. So, some of them, of course, can be included, some of them not. But
Mhm.
let's say if it is possible, let's focus more on that. And also, for example, as a tourist guide and also tour operators, I think that we can include more our own let's say, abilities. So that means walking, climbing, that we don't depend so much on these vehicles. I mean, we do talk about e-scooters, electric shuttles, and so on. But on the other hand, if we include more active tourism where we do more walking and so on, hiking, that's even better, right?
Mm.
Green accommodations, operations. I think we talked already quite a lot last week. So I'm
Yeah.
actually inviting our followers to watch that link from last week. Educate, inspire travelers. We also talked about that. We have a very important role in the education because, tourism has a very strong impact in education, also transformation tourism. So, this is something that we can do easily with not so much cost. No? And then, of course, supporting regional markets. So today, for example, I had an online guided tour for our clients from United States, and they asked me about from farm to table. Nah? So, how is it functioning in our society? And I think that everybody is then feeling much better if they see, oh, when I'm here, I'm supporting the local economy, I'm supporting the local farmers, local restaurant owners. So definitely regional market support. Now that's very sustainable. Offset as a business, okay, I mentioned already something about that. A lot of times now we are talking about the technology. So for hybrid tourism,
Mm.
here I would point out mainly the inclusivity because we have this educational role, but on the other hand, not everybody can travel to all around the globe. So if we have hybrid events, I think this is just top. The other day, I had clients from Turkey and they connected with their colleagues in their office. So we had a hybrid tour. I was their guide in Ljubljana, and on the other hand, they connected via WhatsApp with their colleagues. So we had a very nice event or experience all together. No? Now, now we are coming to my favorite topic, Esther. I don't know if you heard, but I support very much off-grid tourism. This is something that
Mm.
it's very, very in trend
Okay.
because I think that we are all depending too much in our daily routine from any
Mm.
kind of this modern technology, right? And human being, of course, was able also to survive in the nature. So this is a kind of a adventure, not ready, not good for everyone, but I think sometimes we should let's say put us out of the comfort zone, and off-grid tourism is something that is very challenging. No? So it's emerging and a highly sustainable travel trend. Mm, Not everybody is from that, but sometimes I think only like few hours of the grid could be already a good idea. Of course, if we're more adventurous, maybe then even an overnight stay or even the whole week. But let's go step by step. No? So definitely off the grid travel has a low environmental impact, right? Because the consumption of this energy is very low. Generally,
Mm-hmm.
also waste consumption, or let's say production, is very low because of the grid, we practice more eco-friendly practices. It has immersive experiences, right? So we emerge more with the nature, locals, cultures, and so on. Everything is more simple. Sometimes we don't even think that this is possible, but it is. It's just that we need to put ourselves off the, let's say, off out of the box, right? Then we
Mm.
have resilience and sustainability. So that means that we are encouraged also accommodation to use accommodations which are more off grid, right? And also activities like guided tours or tours generally that use as less as possible of this, let's say, technology or spoiled part. No? Ecologies and cabins, I already mentioned, right? So this is already a very important
Mm-hmm.
example. And I think that is suitable for any part of the world. Of course, cities not, right? But, around the cities, suburbs, if we want to take people more off the beaten path, this is an excellent opportunity. No? Nature retreats, right? So that we stay in remote locations. So I think that scouts would say, well, we are already doing that, right? Yes, scouts are already doing that. But, when we are adults, and sometimes it's not so easy for us to go in the nature, but it definitely helps our souls, right? And we recharge the
Right.
battery. No? Yeah, so
Mm,
these guided wilderness activities, I think they are very much on horizon. Self-sufficient travel, this is another topic that I would like to open here with of the grid, namely encourage travelers to really pack sustainably. That means like really little, sometimes even in a backpack, right? And
mm,
that they rely on the minimal resources they stay. This is challenging, but on the other hand, it's a good test for us. So, with how little can we survive
mm,
in these traveling times? Nah? Leave no trace, definitely. I think that everybody, even if we bring something that it's packed, let's bring waste back to urban centers where we can put that in for the recycling, right? We don't need to put
mm,
this waste in the nature that we are visiting. No, because we brought something with, we should take this waste also back home, more to urban places where this is anyway organized already for a general public. So let's not expect that somebody is going to clean after us when we are in the nature. Renewable energy, sustainable design. Of course, this is something that we already mentioned so many times. So let's go for it, right? Supporting local economies. Again, you see nothing without local economies in sustainable tourism. And definitely, we always need to encounter the locals. For example, this year, February 21st, we have International Tourist Guide Day, and the topic
mm,
of this year is peace. And this means peace not only in the wartime, but also peace, a nice interaction between visitors, tourist guide, and the local community, so that we are all interacting in respecting and peaceful manner. So this is something that we need to find the way together, that we need to come together, so to say. Accessibility, comfort, authenticity, of course, if we are included, if you are including the local community, that is it. And then also regulations. There is one, let's say, challenge of these of the Greek tourism. That's mainly because sometimes regulations don't allow us, but I think if we want, we always find the way out, right? And visitors can be also more involved now. Marketing, of course, we need to emphasize these unique experiences. I think you are here the best, Esther.
mm,
And we need to target. We always talk about the target market, so eco-conscious travelers
yeah.
and transparency. We
Mm,
are going to talk about the transparency very soon. So definitely, off the grid tourism is a sustainable alternative, but it has also a transformative experience, because travelers, when they come back home, they are definitely different as when they started their journey. And all that together, I would say it's included in this digital detox tourism. And I'm
mm,
sure that we already heard about it. It's emerging. And especially for the millennials, this is something that can be very challenging. I read some articles, and there was even the information that millennials, for them, it can also cause the anxiety, because like, how can I live without
oh,
internet, without a phone for a day or two? But I think this is something
mm,
that brings the people back to their basics, right? So we should include this detox tourism in our programs as well.
mm,
So tour operators, we tourist guides, tour managers, all of us, tourism stakeholders, we should offer this because our clients, our market will be asking for it in 2025 and also in the years to come. So this is
mm.
something that I wanted to present to you and to our dear followers. Esther, if there are any questions from the audience, I would be really happy to answer. But otherwise, I think that we are very often connected also later on, right, on LinkedIn
Yeah.
or in Facebook. So we can always answer those questions or even concerns
Mm.
and remarks. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I think that a new person came into the room as we were having the conversation. I'm not sure I got the name right, but it's Sana. If I'm wrong, just correct me. So it's a culture. We usually like introduce our new folks and just like welcome them. Can you unmute? Let me ask you
Hello.
to
Yes.
unmute. So
Yeah, Jana, hi, hi.
Hi. Hi. Nice to see
hi.
you again.
Nice to have you on board.
Thank you.
So, Jana, any impressions from today's presentation, sustainability and the trends in 2025?
Well, it is an emerging topic, but I'm from Bosnia, by the way, and Bosnia is still a bit not really on that track yet. However, we are trying as the tour guides, we are trying to offer as much as sustainable tours as we can. The state is not so helpful, but I got now some ideas what can we do on, without having to wait for the laws to be changed.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
very much. It's an eye-opening
Yeah.
experience.
Actually, Esther, since I know Bosnia and Herzegovina, it's a gorgeous country.
Mm-hmm.
Jana, I think you have a great advantage because a lot of mistakes that, let's say, more well known countries have made in the tourism in the last 40 years, you can escape or you can, jump over and you can go directly to the trends. And you are right, states are not so helpful, but on the other hand, that's why we have these kind of entrepreneurial ladies as you are. So the future is very bright.
True. And I think another thing I could do is I could lead you to like our previous conversations so that you can see it. I think we started the discuss on sustainability sometime last year, and other people from other parts of the world were sharing what they're doing. So maybe that could give you like some ideas.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. So thank you very much,
Thank you so
Esther.
much for
That was
joining us.
awesome. Yeah. See you next week.
Yeah, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. See you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.